Hi everybody and welcome to episode 9 of the Let's Face It podcast. This is my journey with Paddy Barnes. This podcast is proudly sponsored by GMG Body repairs. Jared Maguire, absolute gentleman. He's just up over Hannestown there. If you need to go see him, any scratches, bumps, anything like that in your car, he is the man to sort it out, to do bumper scuffs and touch-ups, full body resprays, accident repair, bench work, oven bake. Do you ever see them ovens, by the way? We'll talk about them in a minute. Big ovens the cars go into and get repainted. Alloy refurbs, and they do insurance work as well. So hit them up on www.gmgbodyrepairs.com and tell them I'll send you, and Jared will look after you. He's a gent. But Paddy Barnes, what's the crack?
Good, just working from home, you know. It's
Pretend to work from home.
pretend you're yourself, you know what I mean? You just
Get by.
You get by.
Get by. How's life treating you? Good?
Good. I mean, busy. Obviously with work. And more recently, I've joined a gym, KVLR, CrossFit.
Whoa, what's that like?
It's unbelievable.
A few people have actually said to me about that, like that I would love it, CrossFit.
I'm not joking. Like, you just go in and you don't know the sizes are. They change all every day, obviously. Never do the same one twice, but you go in and do the hardest sessions ever, and somehow you enjoy it. It's weird.
Unreal. I hear. No, we'll do. We'll jump right in. We'll go start from the start, and we'll work our way through, and we'll talk about you jumping into CrossFit and how that maybe even helps you as a substitute to boxing mentally and stuff. But you're from Cliftonville, young lad, went on to reach the highs in boxing. I think everyone in the world probably knows who Paddy Barnes is now at this stage, and you're Olympic medalist, aren't you? Olympic medalist? Twice Olympic medalist. We were talking at the start here about doing research, and you doing your own podcast. You were like, too much research and all to do and all this here. And I was like, Paddy, sorry.
It's a makeup.
So you're twice. I knew you were definitely once twice Olympic medalist, which is unbelievable. But where did it all start off for you?
To be honest, like for me, obviously being from Cliftonville, I remember I always played football on the street. I swear every kid played football on the street when they're younger. Not like nowadays, everyone's playing watching their phones out there. It's silly, like. But one night it was raining, and a few friends of mine, Ed Graham and Steve Graham, they were going to the boxing club. I said, "Man, I'm gonna join him. It's licensed, so I'm down on a Wednesday night."
What age were you?
11.
11.
I just 11. Just turned 11 actually. And I remember it was a Wednesday night I joined. I didn't even join, I just went down for a crack. And that Sunday, they had me fighting. Like at 1 day training, didn't win the Friday, 1 day training. For that Sunday I lost. And actually, I fought a fella from West Belfast, my first ever fight. Eamon Finnegan. We're friends to this day. Like, I actually had to remind him of my first ever fight and he beat me. But Eamon's a good lad for us. But from there, I would have went to Arglass every weekend because my cousins live there.
Right.
And they had a boxing club there called East Coast. So I just joined that club because I was down there every weekend anyway to fit in. So I didn't train at all during the week, and at the weekend I would train once maybe and twice. That's probably why I lost the first 12 fights because I didn't really train proper.
Well, you lost your first 12 fights.
Yeah, I didn't. But like people always say to me, like, why did you give up? Like, you're crap. But then actually it wasn't that bad. Like, but for me it wasn't about winning or losing or being a boxer. It's just trying to fit in with my family and friends. So that's the only reason I'm for it. My cousins had said I'm not doing it. I probably said, you know what, at that age, I'm not boxing there. It's crap.
Not bother, like.
It's not bothered, like. But I'm glad I stuck at it, and you know, because I have stuck at it, you know, I've travelled the world, you know, places that you would never go to, like.
Was there ever like a defining moment in like them 12 fights? So that probably how long probably a year or two boxing and then 12 fights. Like, was there ever a moment where you turned around and were like, do you know what, I could make a go at this? Or was it always just sort of winging it or see what happened there?
I'm not joking. Like, at one stage, I can actually remember this happened. I used to go into the fight and thinking, like, how can I win a fight? Like, how do you do it? Because, like, you'd be exhausted after 3 seconds. I'm sure your opponent does too. Like, you're only kids. Like, how do I win this fight? I just didn't know how to win. Then one of my tournaments, the first fight I won was in the final of the Armagh Down Championships. And once I won that fight, I thought, like, I was a legend, mate. It's an hard to win. I know it's just see, once you win, you become.
Was that your drug?
Basically, it's like you're addicted to winning. Like even though you've only won once, but that feeling you crave it, and you keep wanting more and more and more. And like, I didn't train harder, like, but I had more belief. Like I think I can really how to win, and I did start winning. I won like, Ulsters. I did win the anthems because Mike was highly competitive. I had Carl Frampton at the weight, so he beat me. I beat him as well. Don't worry about that. So a hard weight to get out. So my dream at that age wasn't to be a world champion or wasn't to be an Olympian. It was always to just fight, not even be Irish champion, just fight in the National Stadium in Dublin.
Right.
Big massive ring, boxing only arena. I always wanted to fight there. Then once I fought there the first time, I lost.
What age were you when you fought?
I was 15.
15.
It's the first time I qualified for the Irish Championships, 15. And I lost the massive winner, Kevin Pennessy. But the year after I won, and after I won it, as Irish champion, I thought, no, I'm 16. This is brilliant. A week later, I went to the Four Nations, which is Ireland, England, Scotland, Wales. I won that. And I thought, for me, that's my world title. I thought, I'm going to be world champion one day. I want some silly tournament. But back then, for me, I was like, that's how I feel that got me to stay at boxing. That's because I believed that, maybe I could do something good with this.
There's something happening here. Like you're starting to mould into a fighter and a winner, more importantly. And like, obviously it isn't all about winning. That's a great point you made there about getting beaten your first 12 fights, because there is a lot of kids who go, and not even just boxing, go and start something maybe, and I see it in my own club in hurling and football and St John's. There's kids maybe not as good as other kids, then they tend to fall away and just don't do anything, and then that leads to a whole new kettle of fight with them, but they're not involved in things. But that takes a whole world of its own. But I think whether you knew it or not at that age, the resilience that you showed to keep coming back after defeat after defeat after defeat, to keep going, it probably stood to you, did it, when you were going on to like win the Irish titles and progressing, like that you've suffered defeat and you know what it's like. And
see, definitely, you know what it's like to lose, you know what it feels like and how hard it is, but then equally because you've won a fight, you know the how ecstatic you feel, you know how good it is to win a fight. So it's like I can only assume it's like someone who's addicted to drugs or whatever, like, they're taking drugs, they're feeling high as a brilliant, and then the flip side, if it's boxing you lost, you're feeling down, probably the same way they feel as if
come down.
But like, so you could say like I was addicted to winning. You know what I mean, and I did later on in my career. I got that stage, but sports was a bit more serious. You're talking senior internationals, because it was on funding. So obviously, I've dedicated my life to boxing. So I had no education whatsoever, because it's hard. Even this day, like, all these people who are top sport people in Ireland, and even in UK, you could argue, all some sports, not boxing, they're highly educated, but that's okay. Like, there's no medals, because for me, I feel it's across the board, it's one or the other. You can't mix sport and education, no doubt about it, but you're not going to win. You're not going to be an Olympic champion or world champion if you're mixing it. It's too hard. At that level, it's too hard.
But it's back to, like, I've had this argument a couple of times with like, define someone who's smart, define a genius, and I actually don't think there is such thing. Like, what is a genius? People say, Lionel Messi's a genius, but he's a genius at what he does. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's someone who's in education, who's going on to be a professor or a doctor, brilliant, you're smart, and that's for you. Well done, put all your energy into that class. But you put all your energy, and like, because you weren't good in school doesn't mean you're stupid, because you were the best boxer in the world. Do you know what I mean? And you have to go in and prepare for them fights, and there's tactics, and there's things, there's game plans, and there's a way you carry yourself, and there's all that comes into it. So your education in boxing, you're probably a genius in that, do you know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is there's no such thing as someone who's stupid or someone who's smart or whatever, because we all have our own thing that we're good at.
We're all smart in our own unique way. So like, yourself, like GAA, like you know a lot about GAA. I know nothing about GAA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say you know nothing about boxing because
I don't.
everyone watches boxing, so
I don't know a
to some
thing.
degree they would know. Like, but you know, I guarantee like Lionel Messi is a genius of football,
Yeah.
but I guarantee if he put a pair of gloves on,
That's my point.
he would be terrible. Like, you know what I mean? So
it's like you going in the Queen's and trying to take a lecture on politics or whatever. It just doesn't. Do you know what I mean? Whereas
Yeah.
like there's people who do that because they've worked so hard at it. But what school did you go to?
I went to Barney.
The Barney. We played Barney in a soccer match before. I went to LaSalle, and that's like.
Did you beat them?
We had a good soccer team, but Barney were always renowned as madly.
They were mad.
And we were mad like LaSalle's mad. It's not a kick of an arse off it, but
No.
but Barney, and did you? So you mentioned there about school. Did you not? Were you not? Did you go to school much?
No,
or?
I went to school. I actually stayed on for an extra year in sixth year, but
Right.
I actually really enjoyed school. Like, all your mates were, you had some crack, but I just hated homework.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's easy for me to say, and I suppose everyone said this year, oh, we should have listened more, we should have done this, that, and the other, but I don't agree with that there, you know, from my own personal aspect, you know, it is what it is, like, it's just, I try my best, like, and just, I wasn't stupid.
Yeah.
But just, like, education, like, academics, you know, paperwork and writing down, I'm more of like a doer.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an easy boss, like, but I'm over a doer, like.
More of a practical guy.
Yeah.
That's why I am. I'm like that too. I'm very much more practical and hands-on. I would rather sort of come from the that angle rather than studying and stuff like that.
I always have this analogy, like, if I look at something, I've never studied in my life. If I look at something like in one eye, the other, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But because if I'm boxing so long, no, I'm in it. Like, I know everything about amateur boxing, like about boxing. So if you have a passion for something and you love something, it's easier to learn. If you love politics, you'd be a brilliant politician.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or a scientist,
Yeah. So you put all your energy into boxing. You sort of probably knew at the tail end of school time then that, right, I need to have a right crack at this because I don't really have much else in terms of education.
See,
is that what way you approached it?
Basically, yes. So obviously, no education behind me. I had I won bronze in Beijing.
What year was that?
2008.
What age were you?
I was 20, I think.
That's mad, 20. Isn't it? Like someone so young. Did you go to that? Did you go to Beijing expecting to win?
See, there's another thing. So whenever you have this thing about the Olympic dream, like, I wasn't really my dream. My dream was always to be. Cause I didn't really, not that I didn't know what the Olympics were, but I didn't really how big they were. I always wanted to go to World Championships just to see how good it was against the rest of the world. And I went my first World Championship and I got the quarterfinals. By getting the quarterfinals, that qualified me for Olympics.
Right.
I'll never forget this. After I won, I beat Japan in the quarters easily. And yes, because getting the quarterfinals got me on £20,000 funding.
A year?
Yeah.
From the
sports medals? I saw it. I never read this bloody wall something around. Yeah, but I won the Beijing. And I think, fuck Beijing, I got 20 grand, I could have Beijing. I think going because I was unqualified. I remember saying, I'm not going. I didn't like any coaches. No way am I going to the Olympics women's. I'd be depressed, no way. Then you had Jones and Edmund qualifying, Joyce, Egan, Sutherland. Okay, I'll go, like. I would have went anyway, but
yeah, I know what you're saying. And see the build. So you all come into a Team Ireland, not right?
Yeah.
And then what? Do you just go to Dublin to train?
Dublin to train. So we basically live in Dublin. So Tuesday to Friday every week.
Serious, and that's just helter-skelter training, is it? Or
training, like, eat, sleep, drink, training.
Yeah, and then you come home at the weekends.
Home on the weekends, yeah.
So you're still relatively young. Like you're probably 19, getting ready for the Olympics, coming on touching 20, and like. It's a lot of pressure. Like you're going in doing all this training. You're coming home at the weekends. Was there, whenever you were coming home, was there ever like a chance for you to be like, right, that's me. I'm going to let the hair down. I'm going to go mad. Was there? Like,
I done every weekend,
drugs, drink, or whatever.
So I've never took drugs in life.
Yeah.
Never ever took drugs in life. I still haven't. It just don't appeal to me. And plus, when I was boxing, I reckon I'd be the most. I'm going to say this in Ireland anyway. The most drug tested athlete ever. I was drug tested. Like nearly every other week.
Do you think that's because people have a perception of you?
Nah, it's supposed to be random, like, yeah. But I don't know.
It's just fluke then.
It could be just flukely, I don't know. Like my time, I didn't mind it here, like it's annoying sometimes, but my time slot was like 6 a.m.
Right.
And he was always in my bed, and she'd be up in the morning, you're pissed straight away, like, you know what I mean? But it was annoying, like. But I agree with the drug test because, you know, there's so much cheating on.
Yeah, but that. My point was, so you coming back at the weekends, was there, like, growing up in North Belfast, it's very much like West Belfast and Belfast as a whole, there is a lot of things going on, so do you think boxing sort of helped you
That's like,
in terms of antisocial stuff?
Cause like, I first drunk when I was 11, and I caught and all, and I drunk still a bit, and then I was 14, I stopped drinking. It's funny saying 14 not drinking.
That's you.
All mates were drunk, like, and like, I went out a few times. That's
my point, because that's so normal where we come from.
Because like, all mates drunk. No, there should be 30 of us. They stand on the street, like, they were drunk. I wasn't drunk, and a few times I got up a little slower. Took a wrapper off, my hand was Concord, and people actually believe me. But it didn't bother me. And at first, all my mates, they would never pressure me. Like that is like, when I was boxing, like, they wouldn't even say, "Come on, Paddy, well, just nothing correctly."
Yeah, that's unreal. Even have, because it is easy to fall into that sort
100%,
of. 100%.
Like, it happens to a lot of fighters now, you know. Yeah. Once they hit like 18, girls and drink when they're crazy, and it's not just boxing, it's all sports. They just leave. It's a pity. Yeah,
it is so sad, and it's just society, isn't it? I suppose.
It is.
But so you get ready. You're going to the Olympics. You're going to Beijing. Have you ever been in Beijing before?
Never.
Have you ever heard of Beijing before?
I've heard of Beijing before, but you know what? See, Beijing, it was actually unbelievable.
Was it?
Class city. Like, it was very, very modern. Chinese people are very, very nice. Like, really nice people. But what an experience, you know, from not really knowing what the Olympics were, not thinking about big, and then opening ceremony, it's like, wow, this is unbelievable. And then obviously fighting, getting the medal. Obviously when I got the medal, it's well publicised, I wasn't happy, because even like at the Olympics, I didn't realize how big it was until I come home, because you're like in a cocoon. You're protecting the outside world, no media or nothing, like, you don't read the papers over there, obviously, and like social media was only Bebo, was it back in the day or something, but if we're losing and like going mental, like, it's my first major tournament, like, it's going mental, like calling the referee, judges, everything, slamming with China, but everything you said was true, like, you know. Okay, a bit controversial, but no one can say, Paddy, you're wrong. Well, I'm wrong, because everything he said was actually 100% true. But that was just me being young. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, I suppose you are. You're still, like, you're probably still immature at this stage. Like,
exactly. Oh, it's 100%. It was definitely immature, no doubt about it. Don't regret what I said. Don't regret what I've done, because it built my profile a bit, like, you know what I mean? It showed people that I was passionate about it. I wasn't going, like many athletes do, go take part in these major tournaments just to say you're an Olympian. Like, I really want there, as passionate, I really wanted to go win a medal for Ireland.
For Ireland, that's class. And then you come home, obviously then it's the start, I suppose, of a new life for Paddy Barnes, isn't it? Like,
big time, you're in the public eye, it's what they're saying, what you're doing, but, you know, not that I was told about anyway, like, but I actually remember coming home, it's not a lie. I was standing in Newington, a shop called Rossi, a screen shop, and I am in the shop, no joking, looked at the paper, I think it was Daily Mirror. Oh, it was Daily Mirror. Full front page, like, it was black and white writing, so it was really, really stood out. Barnes, Bebo racist. I was like, what? So what happened was, because I lost the chain and I gave off and blah blah blah, people were writing in my Bebo, like, slabbering, like, I'm gonna burn this tanks to the ground. All the Chinese, like, tanks to the ground, I'm gonna burn this local Chinese, boycott your local Chinese and all. Like, Jesus, it's not new me. It's rockets writing out there.
Right, no,
but then, you know, obviously clarifies what they mean in the article, but like the heading doesn't look good for me, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just, even from early age, I got how manipulative the media were. Yeah,
and that probably went on throughout your whole career.
100%.
We'll talk about that in a minute, and probably in more detail about the media and stuff. But and then you're 20, you come back then, and then what happens? What's after that? Like, is it getting ready, like, automatically for the next Olympics in 4 years' time?
Yeah, so basically what it is, you're funded for a 4-year cycle.
So this is you 20 grand a year, or have you moved
I'm
up?
40 now.
Oh, you're 40.
40 now.
How'd that feel?
Unbelievable. You're a kid and from having like literally nothing. Maybe brother and my dad gave me 60 a week, and with my wee brother gave me 20 from his own wages, like just to live on, like basically. But it was really tough, like.
Yeah.
But then I went from that from 0 to 40, like unbelievable. But then, so even like I'll fast forward to like London Olympics.
Yeah, aye.
Because.
Which was in
2012.
Yep.
And I remember like fighting in India in the quarterfinals for a medal, and like, geez, if I don't win this medal, I'm off London. That's how ruthless sport is, you know, conveyor belt. Yeah. So I'm thinking like, I need to win this fight. Like at this stage in my career, like, no, you say you go to for GA in the ultras, you want to win the Ireland, you want to win all Ireland, right? That's everyone wants to win. Mm-hmm. I obviously wanted to win Olympic Games too, but at that stage, I wasn't wanting to win.
There's more to it.
I needed to win.
You needed to win.
Wanting something, needing something is totally different.
Tell me about it.
So I needed to win that fight, and like I put everything into, like, you know, once I won that fight, I was so relieved that it was on London. Yeah. No, not just because I had great history, but
you had money coming in.
Like that's my fund secure for another 4 years. Me, thank God. Like people don't realise like the stuff behind the scenes. Like, oh, it's all great, he's Olympian, like medalist and all. But you get for them for it, like you get paid, like a wage. You know what I mean? Which is good. Don't get me wrong, but I mean it's not nothing extravagant, like, you know what I mean?
And you have to put your whole life on hold.
Exactly. For boxing, you get anything happen.
Yeah, exactly. But having that fun and then to go on. So you won. What did you win then in the 12 Olympics?
So I won another bronze. The same guy beat me at the same stage. The same guy.
And how'd that make you feel?
To be honest, like the first time he beat me in Beijing, it was 15-0. Now he beat me like no. Like,
that's a hammering.
That's a hammer. Yeah. He definitely beat me, but there's no way he beat me that score. It was a lot closer. Mm-hmm. But I still won the fight. Can't argue out there. And then in London, a lot of people thought that I should have got it, but I felt in the fight, you know, maybe you just nicked it. It was count back, so it was 15 each this time. Right. It's like, you know what, it's a close fight, clear away. He got it, and no issues whatsoever. Like people thought I could have won because 2 more punches. Yeah. But good fight, close fight.
Fair enough.
That's
and you'd be beaten off that way, would you, if it was fair?
Yeah, so if I lose like fair and square, I have no issues out there, you know what I mean? So that is.
That's clear. And then, so because you had a very long amateur career, didn't you? Like in terms, I'm just comparing you with a lot of other people in Belfast, especially because there seems to be like loads of professional fighters, and I don't think like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. That there's been someone who has actually stayed in the amateur game for as long as you.
No, there's no boxer that's been to the Olympic Games in Ireland.
I was thinking.
In Belfast, but like my weight. There wasn't much opportunity to go professional. I went to route to go pro. And like for me, after the Beijing Olympics, like when being a professional, being a world champion professional, it never appealed to me. Like always, like for me, from that day, from that Beijing tournament, the Olympic dream was always my dream. I always want to be Olympic champion. I didn't want to go pro; it just didn't appeal to me. So people have this idea that going pro is the next step up.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this. Yeah,
it's actually not. They're just like it's like jump jockeys and flat jockeys. It's kind of like an analogy I use, like, but 2 totally different sports. Yeah. Actually, you can argue pro boxing isn't even a sport; it's a business. It's all about selling yourself, making money. It's all about money.
Commercial side of it.
It's commercial side, 90% of it.
Because this is what I see. This is from the outside looking in, and I think a lot of people who don't know boxing would have this perception. So I'm looking from the outside, and obviously, and I'm looking at you just say as an amateur fighter, and you're telling me there you're getting 40 grand a year. I could nearly tell you for a fact that there's people here, professional fighters, who don't even get a sniff of 40 grand a year because they're going about trying to sell their own tickets, trying to do this, trying to get promoters, trying to, like, I've seen people putting on their Instagram stories, like, a few tickets to do this, and like that, and that's for them is to get money in their pockets, like that, as well as then trying to go on and perform on a big night, and then if they don't perform, then what happens after that? They're way back down the ladder and they try and have to build themselves up, and it's a whole handling. But whereas you're an amateur, it's amateur in name. You're getting your money, you're getting your funding, you're getting all this here. It probably, in terms of your lifestyle, it probably wouldn't have changed that. Well, obviously you done well in the Olympics and stuff, but in terms of what I'm trying I'm just thinking of a young kid here in Belfast who thinks that he wants to be like, I don't know, like McConnell, because he's a professional boxer, but they don't understand that this is what you have to do to get there.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just being like, right, I can go and sign a such and such with him and not have a pedigree as an amateur. Would you advise people to hang in with the amateurs?
I would advise people, young kids, if they want to go professional, try a year or two at senior level boxing. You know, you don't need to be a brilliant amateur to go pro.
Yeah.
No, because again, they're two totally different styles of boxing.
Yeah.
Like amateurs a lot faster, and there's a lot more skill involved because it's faster. Pro is slower. Your aim is to knock someone out, basically. Amateur, you do try a bit, like, but it's more about overwhelming someone, like, you know what I mean, like, and hit some of the skill. So two totally different sports, but I would encourage like people to try a year or two senior just to for more experience. You'll get to travel the world a bit, to learn more different styles. And then if they feel they want to go pro, you know, if they're lucky enough they could be signed by someone, there's definitely go pro in.
Class. Did you get to carry a flag somewhere? Where was that?
Oh, I got to carry the flag for Ireland the 2016 Olympic Games.
What was that like?
That was unbelievable.
Class. I remember watching it.
I'm actually favourite for gold at the Olympics at that tournament. And the weight cut was too much for me.
Right.
It was like, even qualifying, I didn't make the weight to qualify. So I it's funny this actually. Myself and McConnell fought for Italy. This thing called the World Series of Boxing, and we qualified through that, but there's stipulations. So if you weigh in like 0.5 kilo overweight, you pay like a €5 fine.
Right.
But any more than that, there, $10,000 fine. My team knew I won all my fights. My team knew it was good enough to win all the fights to get us to the quarterfinal stages. It was a big money tournament, but I wasn't paid for it. But they can be an opportunity to qualify the Olympics. It can be their first preference picks. So I agreed to it, and every weekend, so it's every second week, we would have flew around the world fighting, and the manager's room, called Fabio, goes, Fabio, get the checkbook out. He goes, what's wrong with me? I don't think no weight. He goes, what weight are you? I says, 0.5 over. He goes, no problem, thank you, and all. Because they only had to pay like €5, but they would end up paying like $10,000.
Oh really?
You know what I mean? So, and
that's mental.
that was a year out for the big games. I fought at tournaments and lead up to that at a heavier weight. Got myself down, made the weight, no problem. Like in the big games, no problem. I used to make a weight, but I've never in my life made the weight and fought so close to weigh-in. So I went at 8 in the morning, fought 11. I was just drained. After the first 30 seconds, then, and the fellas I fought, hammer and spawn, but there's no energy. And he beat me.
And would you like, again, young people cutting weight, worrying about their weight, get a bit anxious about stuff like that? Would you have any advice for them? Would like go up a weight class, or like be more comfortable with their training, or like, because it is I've seen it before with people like cutting weight for boxing, like, and it's fucking bad looking. Like, I actually remember seeing Paddy McCrory coming out. I was in the gym coat. It wasn't that fight he fought there last weekend. It was the one before that. In the sauna, like, and I'm going, jeepers, that is like mentally looks like he is putting himself through hell.
See, I used to go to tournaments. I used to go to tournaments. I say to Billy Waltz, listen, I can't share with anyone. I need my own ring because I'd be close to tears. It's that hard. Like, my training wasn't about bettering myself. I got to say my training was all about just making the weight. Like, I sacrificed like learning new skills and different, like, being fitter. I was always fit anyway, but always my forefront was making weight. But like, in terms of, like, advice to the kids, like boxing about making weight, for me it's hard because I was paid to fight that weight. I was most successful at that weight. So if I moved up, money would have been gone, and mightn't have been as effective with that weight. So it's a hard one.
Catch 22.
But I tell you what, it's definitely affected my life. I'm the oldest of 4 boys in my family. I'm the smallest. Like my youngest brother, like 6'4" or something. My other brother, like 5'11". One next to me, like which is a bit bigger than me, like.
Mad, isn't it?
And like my calcium levels are really, really low after the calcium supplements. And really, like I think it's just because of my dad, basically.
Because you don't have
whole
the right,
body's just
you never put the right
basically,
nutrients
I'm
into
a midget.
That's why they called you Paddy the Leprechaun Barnes.
Exactly. I could have been 6 foot.
Have you had out your spuds?
It's weird.
I get a plate of spuds on here for you.
It's like week side, like week I won that nothing, like literally nothing.
That's terrible. That's but how did that make you feel mentally? Did you question yourself, or was there self doubt, or was there like is I'm not even doing this anymore? Was it worth it? Or?
It's more like so like basically, say you're fighting fair in a tournament, you don't win every single day of the fight. So I will have drunk a litre of water after I weighed in, have a bit to eat. So now I put on about 1.5 kilos, and in the fight I would have lost most of it in training at night. But so you always fought dehydrated, no matter what. But it's funny, I felt like absolute death before I went in. Seems like I had a leader on me. I could fight the world. I felt like a machine. It was just weird.
That's mad.
How you beat your body so much, and like but an hour later you're ready for anything. Like.
It's crazy. And then after your last Olympics in 2016,
16, yeah.
You decided then to make the jump, did you?
So basically, I was approached by MGM here in NTK, or for NTK, big one pro. I was, to be honest, I will actually, but the only way I go pro is if you fast track me. I don't want to fight these journeymen because.
What age were you then?
I was 30, I think.
Right.
Yeah, 30 or 31. And so there's no problem. I mean, fast track the world title. I didn't care if I lose my first fight. Like, if I lose someone good and doesn't waste me out there, they're great. So my debut for a journeyman, I picked them. Terrible. Second fight, for another journeyman. It's hard to get these opponents. I was asking for these people who are like massive records and all, but they couldn't get sanctioned. It was weird. The third fight, I got a good fight against an export title challenger for the WBO European belt. So I titled in my third fight. Then 2 more fights, not one other title against somebody higher ranked, and then next fight the world title. So MJN stuck the word. You know, they got me the world title that I wanted. I lost it. Yeah. But
you took a bad body shot, was that the right?
Bad body shot, yeah, definitely, you know.
Still feeling it?
He called it body refers, fella.
GMG Body refers.
I think
you go up. I think you'll go up, respray, right?
Put a big button room
fill you a plate full of spuds, go into his big oven, right? And then you come back out, fucking Paddy the Beast.
I should just scrap training camps up to his garage.
That's what you should do.
I don't know.
Barnes repair shop.
But like people say, Paddy, you could have milked it. No, but I don't. I just want to. This is another reason why I went so quick fast track, because as an amateur, good history. As a pro, there's loads of world champions in Belfast. I felt I needed to stand alone, like to be the quickest world champion.
Is that ego?
Not as ego. I just wanted to be like the kind of history maker.
The man.
Everyone's talking about like different world champions. Like I want to be talked in a different way.
Yeah, and then you
I
get
just want to be the best, basically.
Yeah, no, but that's like how you get there.
Like.
That's how you get there. To have that in your head that you want to get to a certain point, and we talked about it before this we started recording, about if you put your mind to anything, you can achieve it. Like literally, I'd be a big believer in that.
And one thing in life, I've came to think about, not to think about, like, but one thing I believe in, there's faith people who want to achieve something. Like, don't be afraid of failing. Like, if you're afraid of failing, like, you're better already. Like, that's why I've gone pro. I said fast track me against like bigger names. I don't care. Not that I don't care if I lose, but if I lose, I'll know I've lost to someone better than me. And losing to people better you can't. You don't mind it. Like, it's just you're not good enough. But I just wasn't afraid to lose, and I can be confident. You know, getting there. People, whatever happens if I lose, and all. So what? I can try my best.
That's unreal. It's class. And then, suppose throughout your boxing career, like that's all your boxing career, and then photos in the paper, you're automatically a national figure. But at the end of the day, you're a human being, Paddy.
Yeah.
And you have your own stuff going on. And like I met you before at Queen's. We'd done a conference with Thomas and the Black, which was brilliant that day, wasn't it?
That day, yeah.
And we both got to know each other's stories. I didn't really know your story fully, and you didn't know mine really. And we sort of made a connection together, and because we were both caught up in addiction, I suppose. Yours being gambling. As much as you're comfortable talking about it, because I know it's rife, it's absolutely rife within sports, within GA clubs, within public boxing, all across the board. How scary gambling is. Something that I've never tapped into. I would never tap into because I'd be afraid. But
yeah.
as much as you're comfortable talking about your journey with gambling, how hard was it for you?
Like gambling, it's one of them ones. Is I suppose like anything, it's easily get sucked into. Like how I started basically was because we're in Dublin training away from home. A few other people on the team went out the bookies. Like there's literally nothing else to do. So I went with them. Do me silly bets, and then before you know it, you're up by yourself gambling. And like it wasn't so much just getting the bookies and betting was the problem. It was later on in the years when you had the apps on your phone. Like I could win like £1,000. Like look at it, there's a number to me, I didn't care about it. Like it's numbers. But see if you had £1,000 in your account, betting account, you're like definitely bet it. See £1,000 cash in your hand. I couldn't bear to leave it over the counter. I mean, it's different. So online betting is the devil, 100%. So evil, like it's ruthless. You're your own person, like it's you have your own responsibilities. But if you're addicted to something, it's hard. You know what I mean? And you get to the stage where it gets to the stage. Well, for me, it did. I didn't care about winning. I'll do it. I'll just do it. You get the nervous racing, all the horse racing law, but it just fucking ruins your life. Like, all the money you have just vanishes before your eyes. Like, you're left fucking nothing. Like, it's scary. Like I'm so lucky that I had a great support network around me. I'm so lucky that I'm out of gambling now. But it's mad. Like, I can't remember, maybe it's extern, maybe some place in the town anyway. I was invited by Sport and I to give a talk. And like, I was just getting over my gambling problems. And I remember saying, but I've been addicted to gambling out there, blah, blah, and told him a bit of a story. Next day, all the papers, Barnes, gambling problems. Like, Jesus. But you know what? That really, really helped me. I'll tell you why, because it was national news. I felt that if I went to the bookies, people would start me like, oh, geez, he's fucked the alcohol and all. So I would have been ashamed or embarrassed to go in the bookies. And this day, I still wouldn't go in, even with my mates, because I would feel people are looking down at me. Oh, he has a problem, look at him, Jesus, not there. So it's going to help me in a way.
Yeah.
So I'll never go in the bookies ever again. And online gambling, I wouldn't need to do it. I haven't done it so long, it just doesn't appeal to me anymore.
Doesn't
Thank
even
God.
come through your head. But did you ever see during that period, Paddy, like, was it, like, obviously you were doing it and you were betting online, but see your life outside of it, like, forget about boxing, your family life and stuff like that, was that a fact? Did you become sharp with people, or did you become more worried or on edge because you're trying to worry about how I'm going to get money here to pay this, to pay that, or was it ever like madness? Was there ever any madness going on in your head?
Not really.
Not really.
Sometimes when I lost a lot of money, I felt down. But I always knew I was getting money was coming no matter what.
Yeah.
But don't I think back, it's bad. Like, I could have a lot saved up, but I blew it all. Only now you can think back, it fucking be raising, like, but
when you're trying to grab
at the time you were young, like, just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
I was ruthless, like, I didn't care. Like, I just suppose I've been ruthless all my life. Like, what I mean by it there is, like, if I want something, I'll try my best to get it. Like, if I want to win, I'll try my hardest to do it. If I feel I need to do something a certain way to win or do something or get something, I'm ruthless. I wouldn't care about no one or nothing. Yeah. Obviously, my family and friends, yes, but you need to be selfish. Yeah. To be a top sports person, you need to be selfish and ruthless.
And whenever you're caught up in addiction, that's the number one trait, is being selfish and not caring about how on earth it's going to affect whoever's in your house or your mates or Jimmy or whatever, you don't care about any of them. It's just you and what you're doing, and it's mad,
like,
isn't it?
And people are addicted. Like people think, oh, like people like the drugs. People like it. It's easy for me and you to say to someone who's like the drugs, oh, fucking scumbags and all. But then people actually want to stop. It's an illness to have. Like it's not fair.
It's them people are what we just said. They're people.
Yeah, they're human beings, and they want to stop. They just made bad choices, and it's caught them. Like, and they need help.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's so sad. But would you have any advice to anybody who is maybe getting caught up in gambling, or maybe getting like, what is there anything to look out for in terms of it taking over your life?
Like in terms of gambling, like just I would advise against it, like wholly against it, like, you know.
Oh really?
Definitely. But there's people who can control stuff, like
100%.
There's people who take drugs and they can control out there,
and they can do it.
Aye, but like gambling, like it's a slippery slope. Everyone has different personalities, different traits. For me, I have an addictive personality, and I did obviously become addicted to gambling, but I would just advise people to just stop. But if you're gambling, just gamble within your needs, your means. Like if you can afford it, just do it. If you're enjoying it, just do it. Who am I to say stop it? Like, but I can only give my experience. It was a bad experience for me.
Yeah, 100%. Do you think that this is something that's sort of coming up more and more? And like you see the Premier League back, right? I haven't seen a Paddy Power advert in the last 4 months, right? Soon as Premier League starts, Paddy Power's all over it. See Paddy Power, open up your phone, Twitter, everything's just not just Paddy Power, all betting things and all sports and stuff like that. And any advert there is in any sports event, it's bang, right? Next goal, 3-1. But do you think even on phones, thrown through Twitter, halfway through Twitter, you'll see something to do with betting? Do you think there should be more done for that, Paddy, in terms of I don't know, maybe getting rid of it altogether, or maybe limiting the maybe an age restriction? I don't know. Do you know they used to talk about the watershed after 9 o'clock and stuff? I don't know, but I see it, and I see it even with drink adverts and stuff like, and it's just like
it's the same. So basically, it's so easy to say, do away with all these betting companies, these drink companies, but we're talking about professional sports here, commercialisation. So how is the Premier League getting money and all? How is
I get that.
It's all money oriented. Like they don't really care about heart. They don't really give a shit about their fans. Like, let's be honest, if they care about their fans, they would stop all that there. But like, in my opinion, obviously, just fucking censor or something. But it's all just based on revenue. So I can't say they ever stop them. Like, because if it does stop, then where do they get money from?
Yeah, so it's a money making scheme.
It's a money making scheme. That's what it is. And you can't knock them, but then that's just morally, it's not really right. Yeah,
I get that, and I get that it's a business, and I also get and people like, I'm very much like geared towards that. Like some of my, like you're saying about people take drugs. I know people, you know what I mean, who go out and take drugs, take coke. Like I couldn't take coke.
Yeah.
It just wasn't for me. It took a handle on me. It took over my life. It just was a complete disaster. You were like up with gambling, but there is people who see, next goal 3-1. I tried to take a fiver on that, and I'll not do it bad again. I get that side of it, but the other side of it is, it's messing with people's fucking lives. Like it genuinely is. Like people are on the edge through addiction, and it's so scary.
Like people, you said like a fiver and another happy out there. Say 9 in 10 people are okay with gambling. No, they can get their hand on it, like, and they can enjoy it, blah blah blah. That one person who can't, their life's ruined.
100%.
And their family's life's ruined. It's a vicious circle.
100%. And it does have that domino effect.
Even if it's 1 out of 100, doesn't matter. It's one person.
It's one person, and we're back to saying it's that human being.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, isn't it? Like, but thankfully, like you went and you said about the network you had around you.
Yeah.
And that's something that it struck a chord with me, because I've said it to a few guests about the winners. I always say about sticking with the winners. Anyone who I'm working with or anything, anybody even going to rehab, I would always say, like, there's people in there who are there for the wrong reasons, but you go in there, figure out, and you'll soon find out who actually wants help and who actually wants to do well. Stick with them, and you'll go together, and you'll do well. You said about that network of people. How important was that, having good people?
Massively, you know. I my gambling in my head. My wife found was gambling and all, and just cracking up and all, blah blah blah. See, she didn't find out, I didn't crack up, I probably was still gambling. So people around me like out there, like, not giving off me, but like help me, like basically come out of it and all, and like once, like, it's a prime example actually, and I know it's hard for people to do, but like, whether they're getting bullied or they're feeling like mental health, see, because I shared my problem, I'm not joking, it like kind of went away. It was a massive problem. See, when I shared one person who couldn't really do nothing about it, like, look up to himself, it went away. So, obviously, I can only speak from my own experience. I feel like if someone has mental health problems or gambling problems or drug problems, if they were to share it with someone, like because I'm speaking from my own experience, it will go away, it will help you. You know, I just feel it will help, like, definitely.
And I suppose that is the whole point of why I'm doing this, of Let's Face It, and the podcast and people sharing their journeys. Like, having that conversation, like that initial conversation that I had, the first time I was really, really honest and told my counsellor about my problems, unbelievable. The best 5 minutes of my life, the best 5 minute conversation I've ever had, by just saying, here, I am done here. I'm done pretending to be someone, putting on a fucking fake face and all this here. Just go, have the conversation and talk, and as you say, it can make the world a difference, can't it?
And that's why I'm going to say something right, and maybe it doesn't mean right, but the general message to people is it's okay not to be okay. But I don't agree with that there, because I don't believe it's okay not to be okay. I believe it's okay to be okay. And what I mean by that there is, if you're not okay, go and talk to someone, because it's not okay to be not okay. If you get me,
I get that.
We're in circles here, so like, don't think it's okay not to be okay. What was it? It's okay not to be okay. It's not.
Yeah.
Fucking go and talk to someone about it.
Yeah.
That's okay to do that there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't be bury your head in the sand. As longer it goes on, the worse it's going to get.
Yeah, but it is definitely okay to go and talk.
100%, and like, it's essential to talk. I mean, like, it's properly essential to go and talk to someone. Like.
And that's amazing. And then I suppose, like, you going out sharing that you did have a problem, did that make you more like open going forward, like, with your family and your wife?
I wasn't like ashamed to talk about it. Like people like get the perception, like, if you're gambling with a drug problem or whatever, or a drink problem, like, you know, you're weak. How are you weak? Everyone's the same. Like, we're all weak. Like,
we're all vulnerable, I suppose, to certain stuff.
Every human in the world is, like, no one's strong and like bulletproof. Everyone's weak. Like, people walking about like they're hard men and all. Like, everyone's like, they're like, I bet you they're in a house by themselves. They've their own problems. Like, everyone's different. Everyone has their own problems. No one's bulletproof. Yeah,
100%. And that's massive, and that's why, like, getting someone like you who's been at the pinnacle, been at the top, and you were struggling with it, and it's mad. But what are you at now then? What's the crack? You're working with sport and aren't you? Doing a bit of.
So basically, I'm a development officer for ultra boxing. Helping the club, like, with governance issues and trying to get them funding out there, and helping them through the funding processes and different grants out there, and the structure of their clubs. It's a bit harder during COVID because of contact sport, but the last to get back. But now, thankfully, we're getting back, and which is good to see now. We're getting a lot of our female participation levels are increasing in all sports, actually, not just boxing, but it was great to see. That's kind of a job now.
That's just promoting it. And do you think that has something to do with the likes of like Katie Taylor flying it and stuff?
100%. Like, you know, like Katie Taylor Olympics. I feel as well, because Kelly Hartman goal as well, Olympic Games, that there wasn't enough done from our association to promote women's sport, promote women's boxing. Partly due to the fact COVID happened, Kelly Hartman won, so you can't really blame the IFA for it. But you know, you've Amy Broadhurst, you've one of the O'Rourke sisters from the south. One's world champion, one's European champion. So female boxing in Ireland is head and shoulders above male boxing, like
booming.
Big time.
And is there any exciting young males coming through?
Yeah, if just one of the picks for me was at the recent Commonwealth Games, Dylan Nielsen. What a talent! He's a young kid, like, but what a talent! And you have Drew Gallagher. Because the whole team is unbelievable, honestly. And
are you offering your like experiences to them too? Are you?
No, actually, you know what? I was asked to go up to help out with the high performance team in Ulster, but that's not the thing, because obviously I'm in my own job, and I have a thing called Paddy Box where I go and train people in their houses. Box train, yeah. We fly out there.
How's that going?
Flying.
So can you plug it there? What is it?
So like, it's Paddy Box basically is.
So where do I find Paddy Box?
See, that's the thing, right? You can't find it because
www. You can't find it, but
I'll tell you why. Because I go to those houses, train them, right?
Right.
But and there's no space needed whatsoever. Kitchen in the room, right? Perfect for 2 people. So I go to people's house every night and during the morning and all too. I was training football teams or Enniskeane Grattans down Monaghan, so it would have been Usher McCombs Club. Train their club, train Ardown, train St Enda's, Ardown Kickham, Ardown football team. So loads of teams too.
And is this all boxing?
All boxing training, and it's really enjoyable. Pads, but mostly it's the one-to-one sites are the bag, but I can do pads too.
So do you have like a travel kit?
Yeah, in the car, in a bag, everything in the car. It's so easy to put up and put down, like 2 seconds. And I've used 2 clubs. One of the clubs, there's girls from Beaver Estate, 3 girls actually, and I have spa elements too. So there's spa available, there's pad available, everything.
Everything. And so how do I book you?
So you need to go on Instagram, but I never ever advertise it because
You're
I'm always busy.
Right.
But tonight actually, I've 2 more nights left. There's people actually come on the weekends from the dock. I'm husband and wife, they train as well.
Class.
So it's good. Being busy is a good problem to have.
It's brilliant. And so if you're looking, if anyone's
looking, just message me on Instagram. I'll try.
Message me on Instagram,
best.
Paddy Box with the caption.
Yes.
And we'll get the ball rolling.
Exactly. and I've encouraged like trolls, not people slabbering at that. The book makers looking spar me. If they think like they're probably want to just crap and all blah blah, I can't punch. Well, now's your opportunity. Pay me.
To have a fight.
Basically,
How much would you charge me?
40 quid just.
40 quid?
Aye.
To have a go at you?
Oh, you have a go at me? Oh, you're getting £100. You're too big for me.
You put fat in my invoice. No, that's class. But here, it's on a serious note, like having that, because you did mention at the start about not having the education, so having some sort of a plan for whenever boxing stops is very important, isn't it? Like, because
see this Paddy Box thing too. Like, it's a fact. Like, I felt during lockdown, like, because people weren't getting out of the house, like, it was helping people mental health. Because I was going to their house, I was probably the only people are talking to. Probably wasn't supposed to be in their house, but I was. But that interaction they're having, like, no, it really helped them with their mental health, 100%. And that's just me saying it. They told me that there, like, you know what I mean?
No, that's unreal. But any advice for young boxers coming up? Any sports people, I suppose? And I think that I didn't know this before you come in. Like I think the big thing here, you started off and you lost your first 12 fights or whatever it was. Class, because I know for a fact that there's a lot of people out there that are trying to find their talents but really can't fully get in the grasp of it or join or don't feel comfortable. And then of course you came along and you lost your first 12 fights. You went on. You're an Olympic medalist twice, and you know, you've done quite well. You've done very, very well out of your talent. Any advice for young people who have a talent and want to push on? Especially
young people, like, you know, you might be as good as you think you are, or as good as you want to be at a certain age, but just stick at it. If you're enjoying it, try and enjoy it as much as you can. And certain sports, especially boxing, you know, if you're half decent, you could travel the world for free, get to like experience a lot of different cultures. Since football and GAA, you could travel the countries you are, you know. And sport is one of them ones that it breaks down barriers between both sides of the community, and it's a great sport is a great tool for making friends and like training. You know, sometimes on the day, if I do CrossFit, see my training, like on my words away, I don't feel bad. Like, so training gives you, if you're feeling down or if you have mental health problems, join a gym, join a sports club. You know, you'll meet people there, a lot of friends, and training itself, I know from first-hand experience, it greatly helps you.
That's really good for you. Like, even the endorphins be flying.
100%.
No, but class. Yeah, it was class, Paddy. I really, really enjoyed our chat, and I think a lot of people get a lot from it. Especially for being really open and honest throughout the chat we had and your experiences and stuff, and that was brilliant.
No, thanks for having me.
No problem. So yes, episode 9 sponsored by GMG Body Repairs. I'll stick their description in the bio on YouTube and Spotify and Facebook and Instagram and stuff, so check them out. And thanks very much to Jared McGuire for the support. I really, really appreciate it, and I will see you all soon. Cheers.